All right, we're gonna switch gears now. In some ways, literally. And that was my attempt at a trucking joke because we're talking about truck driving. Matthew Dosland is a CPC logistics truck driver assigned to John Deere in Davenport. And this month, he was one of only 4 drivers across the country to be inducted into the National Private Truck Council Driver Hall of Fame. To earn this, inductees need a minimum of 3 million miles, plus 20 years or 50,000 hours of driving, and they have to have 0 preventable accidents. And we have Matthew Dosland joining us right now here on The Current. Matthew, thank you so much for being here with us today, and congratulations. I want to start with you and how many years you've been driving and how you got into this.
Well, I've been driving for probably, 30 years. And, I suppose back when I was probably 12, 13, my uncle owned a feed mill and had a semi, and I'd go out with him and move the truck ahead and backwards, and so he didn't have to get out of the grain bin and stuff. And it's kind of how I just started liking trucks, and that's where it basically all started. Then I rode with him too.
It's cool to think about something that you were, piqued your interest at 12 years old, now has led you to millions and millions of miles all across the country, and you've had all these this wonderful opportunity, and now you're inducted into the Hall of Fame. What were you thinking in those moments when you got your award?
Oh, it was just a lot of excitement, and just feel honored.
I want to talk about the last 27 years, almost 3 decades that you've been driving. How have you seen the landscape of trucking change? I'm thinking of even, how much it changed since the pandemic, but what's been kind of the biggest differences you've seen?
A lot of it's like rules and regulations. We've gone out, all electronic logs now, no more paper logs, and a lot more trucks out there, and landscape's changed a lot since I first started driving truck.
That's interesting that you talk about a lot more trucks on the road. I feel like we spent the last few years talking about, really since the pandemic, a shortage in a lot of truck driving companies across the country. So you've seen more. Is that across the whole country or more centralized here in our area?
Like more centralized, I guess, here in our area. But yeah, there's a truckers shortage, but there's still quite a few trucks out there.
Well, what are some things that might surprise people about the profession that they might not know?
Oh, well, a lot of people don't realize, I'm sitting there going down the road at like 80,000 pounds, and our trucks have a sensor on the front of them, so I can see how many feet in front of me the car is. I've had them like cut me off at, like 30 feet. I got to put my brakes on, and it takes a little bit to get one of these trucks stopped.
But here you stand 3 decades into it. Why do you love it so much? What keeps you coming back to it?
Well, I just like going down the road, and I'm just basically by myself, and you got time to think of stuff and look at the scenery as it goes by, and see people, down in their cars, just traveling, and it's just a fun job where I can be by myself, basically.
So all those years on the road, did you ever think this would get you ended up in the Hall of Fame someday?
No. Because I think it was 2018 I got into the All-Star, which is another NPTC thing. But yeah, that was in Washington, D.C. And then I knew the next step was this. And I didn't know if I'd ever get it or not, but I got it.
Okay, well then before I let you go, I have to ask, do you have a favorite site or 2 or even 3 that you've seen in those millions of miles?
There's quite a few sites, I guess, like the big cities, like going like down or going Dallas and stuff. And I've seen like the old where the Cowboys played down there, and I've been not too far from Busch Stadium down in St. Louis, and the Arch. I've seen some monuments and stuff in my years of driving.
I can imagine. Have you ever been to South Dakota, my home state?
No. Sorry.
That's so funny. I did not expect you to say that. That's okay. If you got a couple million more miles you want to drive, maybe it'll bring you through there eventually. Maybe someday.
Yeah. I mean, we got a run that goes up there, but I go down to Missouri and back every night.
Well, then before I let you go, we're talking about how the industry's changed and you being inducted to the Hall of Fame. But what about the rest of us and people that are watching at home? How can we all better help you and other truck drivers stay safe on the road?
Well, just give us more room and just be mindful of, we're there and we're big. You can't hardly miss us. But yeah, people just cut us off and I don't know, they think we're bad for them, but we're trying to keep the country moving.
Moving all the way into the Hall of Fame. Matthew, congratulations. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're very busy. I really appreciate this and just congrats. What an incredible accomplishment. And if you guys at home want to share this story, you can find our online version at WQAD.com underneath the As Seen on TV tab.